Warning: this video, along with other Luigi's Mansion arcade videos, contains flashing lights. When I say that, I mean there's a mechanic to make a big flash in the game that you have to use to play the game. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the video. Well, hello, you citizens of humanity, you. What does that mean? I have literally no idea, but what I do know is that we are back for more on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and I think we're in the old Clockwork? Well, by we, I mean, I don't remember who... Yeah, I was recording this one, so this is my brother and my sister that are doing this, and then my sister is first player and my brother is second player, so you'll be able to see everything a lot better now. And I am not the best when it comes to standing still, so you might see a little bit of going back and forth, wobbling, the camera going a little bit weird, but I stayed very close to the glass, which I didn't realize. You know, I didn't think about the reflection, so you do see a bit of that case that, you know, for some reason has glass on it, but not glass, grass on it. But it should be a pretty decent showing of the screen. It is a little bit bigger, so, you know, that is a nice touch and just quality of being tall. And we saw a new ghost to this mode, which is the big yellow one, which I don't remember its name because it's been a long time since I played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It's been quite a few years. But that one I'm going to have to pay attention to because I wasn't really paying that much attention as I was recording this, since I was trying to stay more focused on just standing and keeping still, just making sure that, like, nobody came behind me and, you know, was just like, why are you just recording these people? Just in case I had to explain what was happening, because it is my sister, or my siblings. Sorry about that. There is cooking in the background, so there was a slight noise that scared me. But, you know, it's for some chop suey, which is great. I'm gonna have to check the audio after I'm done. But I wanted to do this sooner because we're doing something tomorrow, so, you know, and before, when I was going to record this, there was nothing going on. So hopefully we're still good and we're all good. But either way, we're going into a new area, it looks like. Putting that gear in, going from the clock. This must have seriously been made alongside with Dark Moon and to promote Dark Moon, because this is, like, it feels basically like there's no way they didn't reuse assets. There's no way, because it looks exactly like it, except for the fact of they probably made the assets and then put them into Dark Moon because it's for the 3DS, and put it in the arcade respectively, and then changed it depending on how much resolution they need. Because even Captain Toad, which is one of the games that's coming out for 3DS, like, it looks good for a 3DS game. It looks great. But you see the Switch version, and the Switch version, it looks so nice. And I mean, yeah, graphically there's hundreds and hundreds of better games, but on the Switch it really looks super nice, because I played the demo, so I've seen it firsthand, and it's like, ooh, this looks so good. And then I see the 3DS version, which I haven't played that one, but maybe I will, just so I can get, like, an idea of what it'll look like graphically. But you look at it, and it's like, okay, well, because of the Switch and all this, like, graphical technology, I can see, like, my eyes are more trained to see the edges on the model, and I can see that a little bit more. They stand out because I've played so many games now, and they're graphically getting better. I don't think the Switch one has that issue, but remember, it's 3DS, and there's a whole bunch of polygons that you have to take into account, because you can't have as many polygons on the screen for the 3DS, but for the Switch you can, which is one reason why it's like, I really wish they had done the regular Luigi's Mansion for Switch, because so far it's just 3DS, and it looks decent. We haven't seen it, you know, in full product. It was probably just like an in development showing that they showed us. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like Game Explain did this analysis. I'm watching it, and they mentioned about the ghosts not having the glow. And even in this, you can tell, hey, the ghosts, they have this glow, they have that transparency. And the GameCube, the original version, it had that transparency, it had that glow, and it was one of those things that really just brought it to life, that said, this is a haunted mansion. You are being invaded by ghosts, and not having that detail where they look like ghosts and like they just look more solid, just, I don't know, it seems a little to me, and I know for the Switch they definitely wouldn't have had that issue. So I'm really hoping that they're able to go back and revise that, because yeah, it's only a visual difference, and I'm sure it'll control great, because they already have Dark Moon on 3DS, which is one reason why it makes sense. But it's just like, come on, man. I know, I'm not trying to complain, but it would have looked so great on the Switch, and we all would have known it. And man, I've just been talking about Captain Toad and the Luigi Mansion stuff so much that, again, I haven't been paying attention to the game that much. It seems like they're using the flashlight a lot more, and you know, it's interesting to see, like, depending on like what I did versus what everybody else did. Because you could see, like, I kind of just tried to do it in between, and I tried to be a little more tactical, whereas you're seeing a little more flashes in here. But again, as I just admitted, I'm not paying that much attention just because I just carried on my own conversation. It's pretty great. One thing I need to mention, though, is you see, well, we'll say quote-unquote new ghosts, because yes, it is still the greenie and the reddies, that's probably what they're called, but they have this new texture on them, so you can see, hey, it's not the same thing, it's different, which I thought was an interesting detail that they added in Dark Moon. It's kind of cool that they added variants. In some ways, it's like, okay, it's a little strange, but again, it's cool that you have the same enemy with a new variant, but it's actually stronger. Because they also had that for multiplayer. And man, I kind of wish that I could try out Dark Moon's multiplayer. Because, I mean, technically I could. I think my brother and my sister have Dark Moon. But, like, if I got together 3 people to try that out, I feel like it would be pretty cool. However, I haven't played it in so long, so I'd probably be awful at it, and I don't think I ever really was that great with the multiplayer, especially since I didn't play it that much. You know, so it's one of those things. And, yeah. But it is something that I definitely would love to try, again, and I've probably tried it. Because I know I played... Okay, this reminds me of... I know this is out of the blue, but this reminds me of the one time in band, I would bring my 3DS to school before I had the Switch. So, look, every once in a while, it wasn't every single day, but I'd bring it, and the one day, I don't think we were really doing anything. We were having like a party, or we were just getting ready for stuff, but my section and drumline didn't have to do anything. I don't know, it was a while ago. But my friend, Tim, he was in the Team Fortress 2 video we did a long time ago, and we only did one of those. Kind of funny that I have a playlist for that. Oh, and there you guys see the fact that 2 people can get knocked out, but still have an issue. And my sister was having trouble with payment, so I actually did knock on the window to try to, like, I don't know, to try to help and just be like, hey, this is a good way to do it, which is why you saw the camera lower. Anyway, though, we went onto local multiplayer, and he had Mario 64 DS, which is a game that I never owned. It's a game that my brother owned, but for some reason, I never got it. I mean, maybe I will in the future, but we went onto local multiplayer with our 3DSs, and we just had a heck of a good time playing the multiplayer, you know, and that's what I like about, you know, this arcade and everything like that, and that's not what I was necessarily talking about. But I'd like to say that's definitely one thing I love about this is you can just sit with family or friends at an arcade and you can just play this. Also, getting destroyed by a bat, that just has to really hurt because I've had that in like Splatoon where I've gotten killed by the small fry and I'm like, oh. And it looks like, oh yeah, right, this boss or this ghost, my bad. It's one that it attacks as you're sucking it up, like it still attacks and all that. And the fan is now on. There is literally so much in the background right now. Like I'm literally just trying to ignore it. But you know, that's what happens when you live with other people. But it's fine. So here we have a new, well, not a new, but we have a returning boss ghost, but actually 3 returning boss ghosts where they have mirrors, and what they'll do is they'll end up having it put it up so that your light reflects off the mirror. I don't think it does anything to Luigi, but it doesn't affect them. And then when they put down their mirrors, then you can attack, which is actually kind of a cool concept when you really think about it. It's one of those things where it's like, man, like it makes so much sense, but it's one thing that it makes so much sense that you generally wouldn't think about it. And one of these ghosts will put down, I think they're like called, they're the something sisters, probably like the mirror sisters or the garden sisters. I'm not actually sure. But what they'll do is only one of them will set down the mirror and you have to use your flashlight so that you can pull them and then the others will go back. So that's why they're not going after a specific one, because you generally can't do that. And the third one, that's not in the Clock Town, the third mission that you have to do is actually pretty crazy, and I can't wait to I can't wait to post commentate that, just because there's a lot of things that I can talk about. Also, one thing that I do notice is that player 1's flashlight is bigger. Apparently there's power-ups you can get, but I never understood how you really necessarily got the power-ups. Maybe by, my guess is like the more ghosts and the more stuff that you get, like the more points you have or something like that, the more power-ups you get. Because if you look, there you go, my sister got powered up again because she just got 2 boss ghosts. And I'm guessing that's how that works, but I'm not really sure, and it raises your radius of the flashlight. And in these situations, I would tend to panic, but at the same time, I'd be like, okay, we got this, we can do this. And I don't remember if they high-five at the end or not. I'm actually curious. But there you go, you got the cinematic again with these 3 sisters, and there you go, stage clear. I think I stayed for like a moment, but there's not that much. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the last part of this Luigi's Mansion arcade.